in the community. All right, individuals who have stepped in place to do some things. Last year's Brotherhood Sisterhood Award winners. Hey, I need y'all to lock in the back for me. All of you got practice later with me. Just remember that. All right, appreciate it. All right, was Mr. Quan Reese and Sabran Reese. Give it up for them. They were last year's Brotherhood Sisterhood winners. So this year, Shaquan and I talked, and we said, hey, why do something different? Because sometimes there's a group of people who do a lot for a lot of people, and they don't get the credit. There's a group of people who don't get acknowledged, but they're in the trenches. So the first Brotherhood Sisterhood Award winner this year, she had to leave early, went to Dr. Ro Herring and the Impact CSC conference. So give them a round of applause. Every year, they take about 60 students for about 6 days, and they pour into them with keynote speakers and lunch and field trips. And this year, we got to go to the Walmart Distribution Center in Brooksville, which is the first automated Walmart distribution center in the world, where there's 1,200 robots that are making the systems work faster and better. And it was awesome to be behind the scenes and to be a part of that. So once again, the Impact Conference, give it up for them. The next one we decided, we said, hey, we give a Brotherhood or Sisterhood one, so we might as well give two. And so we started brainstorming. We started thinking about who we're working with, who we're partnering with, who we've been doing some things with recently, the areas we're working in. And so this year, we decided that our second Brotherhood Sisterhood Award recipient for 2025 would be the High Point Neighborhood Family Center. So we're going to have Mr. Chico Carter and any staff from High Point that's here to come up and receive this award on behalf of the Brotherhood Summit. I'll give it up for them one more time. All right, so this is the part where I take 5 minutes to put this thing in a boat. I thought about it a lot, how I wanted to come at this, and when I get done, we're going to give out some free stuff, so please don't rush out. I want you to spend time with our resources. Once again, give it up to our resources for being in the building. On the back of our shirts, you'll see there's all kinds of sponsors and all kinds of stuff. Our main sponsors being Crossroads, High Point, Servant Church Ministries, Takes a Village LLC, Crossroads, Palm Harbor, Youth Outreach United, Infinite Cinema. Those base people made this thing possible. But this year is different for me as we transition this summit. 2 weeks ago, in this neighborhood, well, about a week ago actually, we lost a 15-year-old boy. I've just been playing that in my head. Because I used to pick this kid up, throw him on my shoulders. So I started going back and forth like, what do we want to do? What do we want to talk about? What is the Brotherhood Summit? What is the Sisterhood Summit? What is this idea? And the goal is for this to live on way past anyone in this room. In 2060, what does it look like? In 2070, what does it look like? So this year, we decided we were going to brand the summit. So the shirts you see, the logos you see, that's now the branding for this event. We've now decided to brand it on a whole nother level, take it to a whole nother place. Why did we decide to do that? Because we decided to lay a platform to be bigger than our circumstance, to be bigger than our situations. So I'm going to take the next 5 minutes to pour into two things. I'm going to share a subject with you, and I'm going to tell you where that subject is. Everybody say negative 956. Negative 956. Say negative 956. Negative 956. 3 years ago in February, I was sitting in my house, and I got a phone call. Me and my wife were contemplating finances. I made this decision to go into full-time ministry, and I was like, I don't know if this is the right move. And my wife was like, well, we just pray about it, we trust God. And I was like, man, it sounds good, but my bank account don't look good, and so I don't know if I want to do that. And then I got a phone call from a pastor in Kentucky, and he called me and he said, Josh, I'd love for you and your family to come to Kentucky. I'd love for you to spend time in ministry with us for a couple days, and then we'd love for you to preach on Sunday, and then we'd love to, take care of you and your family while you're up here. I don't know if we could do that. What do you mean? Let me talk to my wife. So I talked to my wife, and I called him back, and I'm like, look, brother, if anyone's going to go, it'll just be me. I can't take my family with me. His response was, I don't think you understand. If I bring you to come minister at our church, and when you don't bring your family, there's a bunch of older ladies in my church who will put me in the newspaper for being a bad pastor and not bringing the whole family. And I was like, oh, well, what do you want us to do? I was like, my wife is pregnant. My son is overcoming brain surgery. I don't know if this is the move for us. He said, listen, what's the problem? I said, man, I don't really have the finances to do that. I'm trying to keep my lights on. He said, when in this conversation did I ever ask you about that? When in this conversation did I ever say, like, how much money do you have? I said, you didn't. He goes, well, then stop assuming and pick one of these days so you can come with you and your family, and we're going to take care of the rest. So we get on a plane and we land right outside of Kentucky, and as we're driving in, I looked at my wife and she said, what's wrong? And I said, nothing, we'll talk about it later. I walk into this hotel room. It's a suite, man. It's got the pull-out couch. It's got the TV. It's got the kitchen. It's got a huge king-size bed. It's got a view. And I looked at my wife and she was like, why aren't you smiling? This is awesome. Like, this is like probably one of the best hotels we've ever stayed in. I said, because I looked at my bank account when we landed in Kentucky and it says negative 956. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? It says negative 956. Why in the world would I come to another state when I could be at home working? And my wife looked at me and she was like, aren't you ministering this week? I said, yes. She said, isn't that work? I said, oh. That might make sense. We get in the car with him as we pull up to the first location to go get food. How many people like food? Was the food good today? Oh, yeah, make some noise for the food. So we pull up to get food, and I got one of my young guys, my mentor, he called me on the phone. He said, Coach, what's that thing you always say, Coach? I said, what you mean? He said, what's that thing you always say? Well, like, what's your quote? What's that thing? I'm trying to tell my cousin, what's that thing you always say? I said, man, don't let your home life determine your destiny. And then it hit me. In the middle of Kentucky, a place I'd never been before, it hit me. That I am not a product of my circumstance, but a product of the decisions I decided to make. And at that moment, I decided to flip the script and say, hey, listen, I am doing work, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing work, and I'm going to trust my faith, and I'm going to trust life, that if I do the right things by the right people, it's going to turn it around. Well, long story short, as we fast forward, as I got back in his car a couple days later to head to the airport, he handed me an envelope and he said, hey, the ladies of my church said they wanted to give you this. I said, man, I can't take that. He said, the ladies of my church want to give you this. I said, I can't take that. He said, well, just put it in your bag and open it up when you get to Florida. I said, all right, cool. When I got to Florida, I opened up that envelope when I sat inside the house on my sofa, and I opened up my light bill and my water bill, and I opened up the envelope, and it was exactly what I needed for water and light plus 956. I wish you would understand what I'm talking about. So it didn't make my bank account just get back into neutral, but it was enough of what I needed, but then it got me back even. You say, Coach, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to get me to understand? What do you want me to do? It's a pleasure for me and an honor to be putting something together. And today, before you leave, I'd love you to visit me at the table, and I'd love to share some things with you. But in the middle of August this year, towards the end, we released a book called Build. Build. Don't let your home life determine your destiny. We too can build. And so today at the 2025 Brotherhood Sisterhood Summit it's my honor and pleasure to let you know that this is the book pre-release that we've been working on for 3.5 years. And coming is -956 is a chapter in the book. So if you want to know how this thing ties up in the book, you're going to have to read the book. Hey, and here's the best part. Raise your hand if you're in the building today. Raise your hand if you're in the building today. Raise your hand if you signed in today. If you didn't sign in, make sure you do. Because every person who attended the summit today, when that book is released, will receive a signed autograph from me directly, sent directly to you. Because I believe in making sure that you become the best version of yourself. And hear me when I say this, the best is yet to come.
All right.
So why all the vendors? Why all the resources? Because the vision of the Brotherhood Summit this year has just become a whole nother level for the years to come. We plan on growing this thing to a whole nother level and growing into a bigger aspect so we can reach bigger masses. I don't know if you know this, or some of you don't know, but this is the biggest summit we've had in 13 years. You can clap that up. The shirts that are on, a lot of people are like, hey, we want shirts and stuff. Those shirts are on sale at the table, at our vendor table. We ask that you don't no longer have to sign up over there for the pre-release. We have your signing information, so we'll get it to you. SBC has a candy jar that no one has signed up for. If you guess the right number, which I have the number, and so does Ms. Reed, we want to give that to you today before you leave. And then now we're just going to give out some giveaways, all right? So we're just going to run through that. So again, from me and my team, we appreciate y'all coming. So give a round up to yourselves as well. You take 30 seconds. We're just going to go around really quickly. Y'all know Nate from SBC. If y'all can introduce yourselves and just your organization.
Latanya with Our Club Special Services for Behavior and Development.
And there's 3 of y'all. What do y'all got to be able to do?
We're Kinship Children's Home Network. We work with caregivers who raise children that aren't their own, so grandparents, relatives, non-relatives, and we get any resources that you need to help take care of those kids. Jessica Conway from Meridian Power. We serve children 0 through 5 with behavior, social, emotional, and developmental concerns.
I'm Ashley Jennifer from Directions for Living. We are a mental health agency providing counseling and intensive in-home services.
My name is Andy DeLong. I'm with Caregiver Support Services of Children's Home Network. We provide support to families that need the help by providing free respite care. We have a family navigation team that comes to the home and helps the family connect with resources that they need.
Linda Sauter, Help Me Grow. We're a free developmental and behavioral screening for children in Pinellas County, birth to 8. So if the parents have concerns, they can reach out to us and we'll get them hooked up.
Y'all give it up for our resources.